Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome. And Jacqueline's going to help us this afternoon lead a mincha service, an afternoon service. And most importantly, read from the Torah, from the portion that we're going to be reading throughout this week. So we hope everyone's had a good Shabbos so far. We're going to finish off Shabbos together. And hopefully everyone has a siddur, a prayer book. And everyone can take a moment, just make sure they shut off their cell phones or turn them into silent mode as we begin the service. And we're going to begin on page 2 in our siddur, in our prayer book, with Hine Matov. How good it is for us to be together this afternoon.
Hine Matov Umanai Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanai Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim 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 Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov, la 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 la. Hine Matov, Hine Matov, la 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 la. In the back. Hine Matov, Umanayim, good. Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Shabbat Shalom.
We want to call now Pam and Lenny. They're going to present the talit, a talis to Jacqueline now as a bat mitzvah. The bottom of page 16 in the siddur. When it comes to special moments in our lives, we say Shehat Yanim. We thank God for preserving us in life, for enabling us to reach this special moment together. Shehat Yanim at the bottom of page 16.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Turn in the siddur back to page 12 for the Chatzit Talush.
Yegada v'yegada shnei b'ala Yavadi rachirutei v'yavlich malchutei V'chaye kol yomecha U'chayecho beit Yisrael V'agala v'agala U'bizmancha v'yimeru Ye'esh ne'gava ne'vara Ve'alam olam e'maya Yitvarach Yitvarach v'yishtaba Yitvarach yitvarach v'yitnaseh V'yitadach v'yitaleh v'yitalach Shemei Yusha V'yitul le'ela miko birchata V'shi'irata ושפחתה ונחמתה, דמירה ועלמה, ואמרו, Amen.
On the next page, you'll find the Amidah for this afternoon. We're going to be starting on page 13 out loud, and then we'll continue silently with the Amidah through page 15. So we ask you to rise and to be seated only when you're done with private prayer. We give everyone a chance to pray silently during the Amidah. So if you rise from 13 through 15 and with silent meditations and prayers, the Amidah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imaot, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו ואהבה, מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומדום אליו, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol.
Page 15, the Amidah concludes with a prayer of peace. We ask God to help us create peace and harmony in our world. Oseh Shalom, on page 15.
Oseh Shalom Mikroman, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'achol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'Chol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'Chol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'Chol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu v'Chol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'Chol Yisrael, v'Imeru, Amen.
So now we come to the part of the service today where Jack will be reading from the Torah. And this is very special for us because to have a new generation read from the Torah is always something that gives us joy, gives us a lot of pride. And for her family that's here today, for her friends, for everybody, to hear Jacqueline read from the Torah. And from the portion that we're going to be reading throughout this week, we're still towards the beginning of the book of Numbers, Bamidbar, the fourth book of the Torah. And so as we go into this part of the year, through June and through the early part of the summer, we're going to be reading about the journeys of our people through the wilderness and some difficult challenges that they face. In this portion today, Jacqueline's going to be reading from the very first verses of the portion. She's going to give us a reading of it. She's actually going to be reading from the Torah scroll, but she's also going to share with us Devar Torah. She's going to share with us her understanding of some of this portion. And it's special for us to also be able to call up people in her family and good friends that are going to help us with the Torah service. They're going to help us with the honors associated with the Torah reading. So for the people who, this may be the first time that you've ever seen anyone read from the Torah or come close to the Torah, Jacqueline's going to walk around through this room and give everyone a chance to come close to the Torah. So she's going to carry the Torah out to everyone. And you'll see people reach out with their prayer books or with their hands to touch and kiss the Torah. This is our way of showing our love for the words of the Bible. And in a moment, when we open the ark, that's going to be our signal and call for us to rise, to show our love and respect for the words of our tradition, words that have helped guide people around the world for thousands of years. And so this is, again, a chance for all of us to celebrate, to come close to Torah today. So our Torah service begins in the Siddur, in the prayer book, on page 28. On page 28. And as we go through the Torah reading, and as we go through the cycle of the Torah reading throughout the year, we get to certain special times and places. And in this case, as we're about to open the ark, and we're going to say the words, Vayehi bin Soah Ha'aron, we're actually going to be reading it from this week's Torah portion. So occasionally the words from the Torah are echoed in our Siddur, in our prayer book. And in this case, we actually get to read right from where this part of our Siddur comes from. When we open up the ark, the words that the Torah portion tell us that the original ark, the Ark of the Covenant, would lead the people through the wilderness, even led them in battle. And so today we have the ark filled with Torah. It leads us in battles that we face in our lives, some of the struggles, but also we know that the Torah leads us to peace. And when we open up the ark now, we want to call up Uncle Gary Wask and Cousin David Wask for the honors of opening up the ark today. Again, on page 28 in our Siddur. As the ark is open, this is our call to rise, our signal to rise, and as we continue on page 28.
ויהי בצהרון ויאמר משה קומה אדוני ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו משנאיך מפניך כי מציון תצא תורה כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים ברוך שנתן תורה תורה ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו.
Now we want to call up onto the bima up here to join us. Grandmothers, we want to have Lovey Charlotte Wask and Grandma Dora Spector if you join us, as well as Pam and Lenny if you come back up as we pass the Torah through the generations to Jacqueline, our Bat Mitzvah. As we continue on page 29 in the Siddur, Jacqueline says the Shema on the line below, Akan. We'll repeat those lines after her in echo.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu Kado Adonai Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo. Gadlu l'Adonai iti uneromema Shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki cho b'shamayim uvaretz ki cho b'shamayim uvaretz Lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'hamidnaseh lechol rosh romimu romimu Adonai Eloheinu והשתחוו להדום רגליו קדוש הוא רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קדשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו ישראל והיראת חד הוא ישראל והיראת חד הוא תורה אורה הללויה תורה אורה הללויה הללויה תורה אורה הללויה תורה אורה hallelujah.
Please be seated, everyone. So as we come to the first Aliyah, the first reading that we're going to be doing now, we're going to call up Aunts Natasha and Stacy and Uncles Daryl and Michael. If you'd come up, in addition to the grandmas, proud family is going to say the blessing, this first bracha, this first blessing, over the beginning of the Torah reading, B'halotcha, and we're going to be reading right from the beginning, the first verses that deal with the lamp, the menorah, the lampstand, and the way the lights shone in the original Mishkan, the original holy place for our people. And so as we call up now the family for this first
Yamdu Rishon. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai HaMbarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMbarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chavanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yeah, I can use them for my choir on High Holy Days. Great singing.
Now, as we come to the second reading, for the second Aliyah, we want to call up now Pam, Lenny, and Evan, brother and parents, Jacqueline, to come up for this second Aliyah, the second blessing.
Baruch Adonai HaMbarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMbarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'karbanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Belahu har bin har, min har salet, Delulah Bashamer, Mikar Sini, bin har, Tikaka Atar. Vikiter Atar et Halavim, Vne, Omama et Vikata et Ho Adar et Israel. Vikata et Halavim, Vne, Aronan, Isahu B'nai Israel et Elehem al Halavim. V'no Aharon et Halavim, Tenifa Lifnei Aronan, Me'e B'nai Israel. V'hayu Lavon et Avada Aronan, V'halavim Yismihu et Elehem al Chaprim. Ve'aseh et ha'hai ha'tai ve'et ha'hai olal lanan v'chaper al halavim ha'marta et halavim lifnei aharon v'lifnei banav ve'henavta otam Tenifa Laranai.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tohenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen.
So, as we read this last section, that Jacqueline's going to be officially called as a bat mitzvah now. She read 2 sections already and had her family say the blessings. Now for this last one, she is going to be officially called as a bat mitzvah. The reading that she does now, that is her own, this is the blessing on her own and the reading on her own. She spent a lot of time practicing learning Torah. It's not an easy thing to do for anybody at any age, but to read, to learn how to read, and to learn how to chant in the Torah. This is something that she's taken on as a responsibility, and now we officially call her up as a bat mitzvah.
Ta'amod, ta'amod, habachura habat mitzvah, bat yad dvora, bat leze v'tamar, maftira chizki. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'achabanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'higdalta et halavim mitov b'nei Israel v'chayu li halavim.
Yeah, you
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Mazel tov.
Page 31 in Siddur, we find our prayer Mishabah, a prayer of healing. We take a moment to think about those in need of healing and for the people that we're caring for courage in our own lives as we take care of them, we pray for them. So as we think about those special people now, as we say Misha Berach, and again, pray for Refuah Shlema, for a full and complete healing for those who are ill, and for our own courage as we care for them. On page 31, Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mikor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach imotenu mikor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
Now to help us with the honor of lifting the Torah, we want to call up Rabbi Paul Kittens, who actually was the officiant at Pam and Lenny's wedding, and doesn't look old enough to have had that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And to help us by dressing the Torah, cousins Renee Bergstein and Sharon Nigro, if you'd come up for this honor as well. As the Torah is lifted, again on page 31, the words the Zohar Torah, and we rise as the Torah is lifted above us.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe.
We ask now to come on the bima, cousins Hannah, Cindy, Jack, Sarah, and Chloe. If you join us up here. And on page 34, in our CD, on page 34, as we return our Torah scroll,
Yahalelu et Shem Adonai ki nizgav shemo levado odo al eretz v'shamayim vayarem keren liyama tihila lecho chasida livnei Yisrael am kirovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
the bottom of page 34, the Torah is our tree of life, our Eitz Chaim.
Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomcheha meushar deracheha darchei noam lechol netivoteha shalom ashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
Please be seated. So now, as a bat mitzvah, it's Jacqueline's responsibility to also share with us some of what she's learned in the journey of her learning and her reflections on this week's parsha, this week's part of the Torah that she read from, and what it means to her to be a bat mitzvah. So now we listen to her as she teaches us.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
First of all, for all my friends who have been wondering where I've been on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school for the last 4 years, I've been studying for this day. Also, probably the majority don't understand what I was saying either, so I will explain it now. My Torah portion is about racism and sibling rivalry. We read how Moses' sister Miriam and his brother Aaron are angry at him for him having a wife that is of a different skin color. She is called a Cushite. Miriam and Aaron are also jealous of Moses' power, so they complain to God and Moses. In the end, God gives Miriam a rash on her skin as a punishment. Moses is so generous and forgiving to everyone, so he tells God to remove Miriam's punishment. From this Torah portion, we can learn about being humble and that we shouldn't brag about something we did. Also, that you shouldn't expect something in return after you do something nice for someone. Also, we can also learn that gossiping about someone is wrong. For example, like when you were in junior high, did you always hear people gossiping like, OMG, did you see that girl over there's new haircut? It is so not cool. Or, wow, did you see that new kid at school? He's really gross and strange. Gossiping about other people is wrong. One day it will haunt you that you did gossip. Just like how in my Torah portion when God gives Miriam a rash for being mean to Moses' wife. Being a bat mitzvah to me means that I am older and more mature, maybe just a little bit more mature. I also now completed Hebrew school after learning Hebrew for 6 years. For my mitzvah project, I am collecting money and doing a toy drive for Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. I will be putting a box at Temple Bethany for toy donations. Also, there will be a gumball machine that takes quarters and a box for larger monetary donations during the reception if you would like to donate. I want to thank Rabbi Mark Blazer for teaching me about Judaism and helping me with my speech. Next, I want to thank Cantor Kenny Ellis for singing at my bat mitzvah and for all of your funny jokes. I also want to thank Judith Stolnitz for tutoring me so I'll be ready for this day. I also would like to thank my Hebrew school teachers who are here with me today, Nahama Megid and Anna Casson, and all of my other teachers who have helped me through my Jewish learning. Now I want to thank Evan for sometimes putting up with me when I am annoying you, like when I cut you off of what you were saying to Mom, and for being a great brother. Last but not least, I want to thank my mom for being amazing and loving and for making a lot of beautiful decorations for my party and all of her hard work she put into planning my bat mitzvah. I also want to thank my dad for not planning my party and for letting my mom do most of it. Lastly, I really want to thank everyone who has traveled far to be with me here today. Shabbat Shalom.
All right.
This is a great day, and we want to, again, acknowledge all the hard work that Jacqueline put into this day and all the learning that she's done over her lifetime to prepare her for, again, this transition in her life. And her parents, of course, have been a big part of it. We want to call them up now because they have some words they want to share. And Evan has some words too he's going to share as well.
First of all, Jacqueline, what a great job you did with your bat mitzvah service and Torah reading. We are all proud of you. We know it's been hard trying to deal with all your homework and trying to work on your bat mitzvah preparations. Here. Jacqueline, ever since I can remember, I always wanted a little girl, since I had 2 brothers. Just ask your Uncle Daryl. Right, Daryl? After we had Evan and we were ready for another child, I asked my fertility doctor to help me have a little girl. And he said it was easier to pick out boy swimmers than girl swimmers. So I just prayed and voila, we had a little girl in the end. You stopped growing at 37 and a half weeks, so I had to have an emergency C-section. So on May 29th, 2001, I had a little girl, and I mean a little girl, 4 pounds, 3 ounces, 16 and a half inches. You came out screaming. At least that is what they told me. At least that is what they told me, because I was knocked out by the doctor, and you haven't stopped talking yet. Just ask Evan. In your toddler days, you were such a good and sweet little girl. You hardly ever got in trouble. When you got older, you could not wait to start school, and to this day, you still count the days till summer vacation is over, so you can go back to school and see your friends. You have always tried hard to get good grades, especially this year in 7th grade, where so far you have had all A's and 1 B. We are so proud of you.
Jacqueline, you have a caring heart. Ever since you made your tzedakah box, Sunday school, when you were 5, you knew that you wanted to donate the money to Children's Hospital of LA. Since then, you have collected and raised money by selling our grapes that we grow for donations. We call it Grapes for Giggles. You also organized a toy drive in sixth grade, and since then you have turned in over 500 toys to Children's Hospital of LA. Because of your hard work, you won the Kohl's Cares Award from our local Kohl's store. Starting elementary school, you started helping kids with special needs. In junior high, you joined Circle of Friends, which you have lunch and do art projects with special needs students. Next year, you have been chosen, along with your friend Taylor, to be leaders of Circle of Friends. You also chose to take as an elective this year called peer tutoring, which is also working with students with special needs. Jacqueline, you take after your mom, and you have a special heart to take care of people. You also like volunteering to help your community. For example, doing the river walk, cleaning our riverbed, and helping out at Temple when you can. You also did a lot of volunteering during your 6 years of Girl Scouts. Jacqueline, you have always been adventurous. You've always liked to try new sports like softball, skateboarding. You were the only girl in this class in skateboarding. You took gymnastics and trampoline. Your newest adventure has been riding roller coasters, even though no one in the family will go with you. Another thing that you are good at is telling a story. You have an incredible memory for detail. Not only that, but you are good at using measurements and telling your stories, such as how long something took to do, the distance, the length of it, the time it took. We are determined that you inherited this gift of gab from Bubby. Jacqueline, we just want to say we love you and we are proud of you today and every day. Also that your grandpa Sheldon and Zadie are looking down upon you today and proud of you too. We want to thank Rabbi Mark Cantor, Kenny, Judith Stolness, Jacqueline's teachers, Nahama, Anna, and the rest of Jacqueline's teachers for all of your hard work to make this day as possible for our daughter Jack.
Now we call it Evan to share some words.
Since I am a man with not many words, I will make this good before Jacqueline interrupts me. Great job, Jacqueline. Just kidding, I have more to say. One thing I admire about you is how adventurous you are. For example, riding roller coasters, trying new foods, trying new sports, and many more. The activity I like best to do with you is playing basketball, because I always win. And finally, I think you did a great job reading from the Torah. I know from experience how difficult that can be. One more thing. Thanks for finally not interrupting me while I was talking.
He actually
We want to call up from our congregation, our temple president, for a few more weeks, John Solomon, to present the gift now. So, John, can you come on in?
Welcome, Shabbat Shalom. You know, every time I come up, I don't have something prepared generally. In this case, I have to tell you, the Wasks are my wife and I's dear friend, and their family has become very close to us, and we're privileged to have them in our life. And I say that with all sincerity. And I look at you, Jacqueline, you did such a wonderful job, and you represented your family in such a wonderful way. You should be very proud of yourself. I know you're going to make a wonderful member of the community, and I want to congratulate you, and I want to hug you. I give you some candles and a tanakh. One on behalf of the sisterhood, and one on behalf of Nesta. All right? Congratulations.
And I think that's fitting as his term comes to a close. They got to do that for a good family friend. And again, thank you, John, for leading our congregation. This day, too, we have a certificate of the Bar Mitzvah role that you've taken on now as a responsible member of the Jewish community, reading from Parshat V'Halakha on this day for our community as part of Temple Bethlehem. And your Hebrew names, and again, the Torah portion you read from so beautifully today. This is a special day for us, for everybody here, Jacqueline, because everybody is here to celebrate with you. And I think everybody saw that when you came in, Jacqueline was at the door, making sure that everybody came here, right? So she was so excited that she was right at the door, opening the door for people as they came in. And that's the kind of personality that Jacqueline has. She is very excited. She was really looking forward to this. And she was, I'll tell you, she was a little nervous before. And she really stepped up and didn't let her nervousness get the best of it. And I'll tell you that is the amazing thing about this week's Torah portion. The halakha literally means when you step up. That's what it means, when you step up. And you did that today. You stepped up into a new level of responsibility, a new level of leadership. And everyone here is excited to have witnessed that, to have been with you on your journey thus far. And we all look forward to watch you grow and to take on new responsibilities and new challenges, knowing that you did this today and that you worked real hard on setting a goal and you achieved it. And so we take a moment now to just think about that. We have a special song that we're going to ask our cantor to help lead us in now that some people will know. This is a song that's part of the Jewish community now, part of especially in our country. But around the world, people have listened to these words that Debbie Friedman put to music. And we think about it now, Jacqueline, as a bat mitzvah, where you're going to go in life, and the different places, the different people that you'll be able to bring your warmth to.
Jacqueline, you're so tall, I didn't recognize you. I gotta just tell you, when people have heard this in the congregation, but it's true. When it was my bar mitzvah, I was the smallest kid in the class. You've heard that? I was first in line, okay? And when I came to my bar mitzvah, the rabbi said, don't worry, I've seen this before. Everybody, right after my bar mitzvah, they just shoot right up. I'm still waiting. But you have already shot up. This is amazing. Well, Well, you took a step in the right direction. Go back. In the Torah, God tells Abraham to leave his house and go to somewhere that he did not know. And right now, you are leaving your childhood. You're going into adolescence, something you do not know. So you have to have faith. And you have to hear this song because it really applies to the situation. So face me, I want to sing to you. Lechi lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi lach, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechi lach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lechi lach. And you shall be a blessing, you shall be a blessing, Jacqueline shall be a blessing, lechi lach. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
And Jacqueline, now, on behalf of everyone here, on behalf of the generations that come before, we give you the blessing from the Torah. It's actually a blessing that we read in this past week's Torah portion, Parshat Naso. A blessing originally that the Kohanim, the priests, would give to the people, as it's told in the portion Naso, that the people would be blessed in this way. And we continue that tradition. We continue to bless people with this blessing. We do it on Shabbat. It's part of the parents' blessing of children. And now, we give you this special blessing now, Jacqueline, everyone here, and again for all the people who've come before, throughout the generations, to give you this blessing now, this moment in your life.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine down upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God turn towards you as you turn towards others in the world, giving you the blessing of wholeness, of completeness, of peace. Shalom. Kenny Hiratzon, may this be God's will. And we say together, Amen.
Good job.
We want to call up now for a special reading, cousin Sonny Sandberg.
Dear Jacqueline, speak gently to yourself. Speak freely in praise of all you are. Speak clearly with pride in all you have been. Speak bravely with hope for all you may become. Find in yourself the powers that only you possess, the pains that only you can overcome, the promises that only you and you alone can keep. Look deeply into the mirror of your life and discover the very, very special person that only you can be. Beloved.
In our prayer book on page 35, to give thanks for our past, for our tradition, but also look ahead to the promise of tomorrow. We say Aleinu, we ask you to rise now for this prayer. On page 35, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gedula liyotzeh b'reishit, shelo asanu k'gayei haratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We ask you to stay standing now as we turn to page 36. On the next page is the Kaddish of the Memories, the Mourner's Kaddish. As we remember our loved ones in blessed memory, each one of us, we treasure the legacy, the inspiration that our loved ones in blessed memory continue to give to us. And especially during this past year, we've been remembering in our community Jacqueline's grandfather, Sheldon Spector, and as we remember again Isaiah and all the people who have made this day possible with their lives and their lessons, and each one of us has an opportunity to remember those special people. And as we remember during these last months the victims of war and the victims of terror as well, think about how lucky we are to remember and to honor them now by saying Kaddish. On page 36, remembering the people we love.
ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביומי חון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ומעולם. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן ויעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
The source of peace and peace to all men, comfort to all around you. We say together.
Amen.
Please be seated. So we come to the end of the service this afternoon and thinking about going out to the last hours or so of Shabbat, to be able to celebrate with family and friends and to have people who come together from all around to be with us and to celebrate with Jacqueline in this special day as a Bat Mitzvah, taking on the responsibilities and leading us as she has today. We are going to turn to page 37 for the last song that we're going to sing today. Page 37, we want the kids to come up now who are in Peter School.
They have the candy in their hands.
Some of them have candy, but
It's close up.
the ones, yes, in the back, come on up. Help us with that going along. On page 37, we need you guys to come up.
Come on, all the Adon kids. Come on up.
Yeah, this candy's not for you to eat, so just hold on to it.
Leah, come on, stand right there.
So again, on page 37, Adon Olam. Our young people are going to help you read us.
So you guys are going to lead us. 1, 2, 3. Adon
Olam, Asher Malach,
B'terem kol,
Yitzir Mikra,
Ve'et nasa, V'chetzo kol, Az HaMelech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'acharei kiflot hakol, Leva'ado yimloch nora Adon Olam, V'hu haya, V'hu hoveh, V'hu yiyeh v'tifara
Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach,
בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא והוא אחד ואין שני להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה אדון אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחצו כל אזי והוא אלי וחי גואלי וסור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום מקרא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם ביעדו הפקיד רוחי בעת אישן בעירה אדון עולם ואם רוחי גביעתי אדון עלי ולא אירה everybody אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם.
Before we finish up, we want to shower our bar mitzvah girl with sweetness now. And we're going to wish her Mazal Tov. So now, you can gently throw your candy at Jacqueline as we wish her Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov, 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 Mazel Tov,
Please hold your candy. Please hold your candy. Thank you. Okay.
So, we're going to we're going to finish Hamosi right now. Give everybody a chance to go forth from this place with lots of joy, gladness, and to eat some food and moments. So we're going to make Kiddush now. So help us with these blessings. Ask everyone to stand, so please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei b'ri hagafen. Amen. Fine, drink up, drink up. That's plenty.
As we make Motzi.
We give thanks to God for it. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Mazel tov to the Watts family.
All right, so we're going to exit from this room and go out around into the next part of the ballroom. So give everyone a chance to do that. Awesome.
Very proud of Jacqueline and her accomplishment.
You did a great job, and we're all proud of you.